Dear all, very warm welcome to this fantastic gathering. I think this process is going to be a very happy journey in your life. This is what I suppose. One announcement also today I will have to make. Professor Satyanarayana has developed fever, so today he may not be able to join. So he has requested us, we breakthrough members, to interact with the students, and we all would like to explain why we are conducting this course and what is the purpose, how this course is going to be conducted. So this is what we are going to do today. With us, we are having one of the senior scientists of India who is working in IGCAR. Professor Dr. Venkatesh is here. Professor Joseph Prabhakar. He is professor working in Loyola College. He is also here. Then Professor Shitikanta, he is also here. On behalf of you all, I welcome those dignitaries. Now I request Dr. Venkatesh to address this fantastic gathering. Dr. Venkatesh, please.
Thank you, Professor Yogarajan. I think I am audible. Somebody has put a chat message that we are not audible.
You are audible to me.
If we are not audible, please again message in the chat, no problem. So, dear friends and dear colleagues, my colleagues, Dr. Joseph Prabhakaran and Mr. Sitikanta Prasad. So Joseph Prabhakaran is from Loyola College. Yeah, thank you. I am audible. So Joseph Prabhakaran is from Loyola College, Physics Department, and Sitikanta is from my Department of Atomic Energy. I myself work in Indira Gandhi Center for Atomic Research, Kalpakkam, and Professor Satyanarayana, who was my colleague in the same department, same center, is presently in Pondicherry University, and who could not join today. He was supposed to come, and so Joseph Prabhakar and Sitikanta and Professor Satyanarayana, all the three will be associating with all of you, although we will be there in the background to conduct this series of classes. Already we had started during the first wave. So the first wave was very small, so we had a very less number of participants. So our wave was not having that peak. Now the second wave is very, very large. So we just thought that people from different states can also benefit from this lecture. And as you all probably would have come to know through Google and YouTube's, Professor Satyanarayana's lectures are very famous. He has been doing this as a passion and has about 25 years of experience in training the young scientists to take up the profession through various exams and interviews in various capacities and different departments. So you all will be benefiting from his lectures, and apart from him, his own beneficiaries, they will be now speaking to you directly. So they too will be helping you to learn the subjects in due course of time. So we will have a few lecturers who will cyclically address the subjects, take the classes online. So this is the purpose. So this is just an inauguration today, and there will not be a classroom talk lecture today. So I would now, before I ask my colleagues to speak, let me explain to you one important purpose why we are organizing this program. One of the purposes is to equip all of you to understand the basics and the fundamentals of physics and mathematics. You know, physics means actually 20% theory, 80% mathematics. So a strong understanding and foundation in mathematical skill is very much necessary. So that is what many times people face as a problem when the problems are posed in the examinations, that is where they struggle a lot. So theoretically, we will be able to explain many things, write many things. I am not audible. That's what somebody says. I will try to be louder now.
No, Professor, you are very much audible.
Okay, maybe to somebody. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Vignesh, I think, yeah. Thank you. So the point is, it is not just to prepare you for any exam. That is the first point. But more than that, you will be able to clear the exam. That is second point. But more than that, we need to develop the community, the physics community, with a strong foundation, so that they will be able to take up physics as a career to such an extent where they will be at par and participate in the international collaborative programs and the study programs in the world. So our contribution in the world will be as equal to anybody else who is contributing in the world. So our participations will be there. In the past, we had such a culture. Presently, only few institutes, like say Chennai Mathematical Institute, Saga Institute, or some of the departments in IITs, not all, of course, and some research teams, they're excelling and they're competing in their field. So we need to create that type of tradition and try to maintain that type of tradition, which has been falling in the recent times. The main reason why it is falling is we are all coming up every year, clearing our exams in our classroom examinations, coming up in higher and higher standards. So we reach the PG level, but our level of competence has not developed. That is a problem. You can always see the undergraduate textbooks in the US, in Europe, their standard and the way they teach, where the way the problems are addressed and solved, that is not the way all of us, and many who are not here, there are many outside also, they are not trained in that way. So that is very important. And secondly, after coming to the PG, we are suddenly introduced several concepts to understand which our UG mathematics should be very strong. So now the thing is that we will have to do some lot of homework, actually, not some, a lot of homework to train yourself, prepare yourself to participate in these classroom lectures. So it will be as equally rigorous as your classrooms. At the same time, it will not be boring. It will be very interesting because we understand the students. The Professor Satyanarayana knows the students and their difficulties, where exactly bottlenecks are there. So where they struggle. So once that is clear and you are all really feeling that you are free to do more problems and you develop the confidence and the self-confidence of the students improve. So that is another important aspect. So forget about what you have learned so far. So you can afresh attend these classes and then try to see where are your limitations. He will introduce, actually, he used to tell, and I also many times inform, that is when you study, the questions which comes to your mind, you may not ask the lecturer, but note down, try to seek the answers by yourself. And then if you do not still get the clarity, raise the questions. So there is no problem here in raising the questions. And we have the limitation of this online program because our Zoom capacity is 100, those who can directly participate. So we are streaming this Facebook Alive. Probably one of you can call your students and find out whether Facebook Alive is getting streamed. I mean, we know we are streaming, but whether they are able to attend. One of the students or a couple of you, please ask your colleagues, your friends, just to confirm us. Oh, thank you, Raghav. So Facebook live streaming is also working well. So those who cannot come in this Zoom, doesn't matter. In the Facebook, you can raise your questions. So we have a team right now. We have allotted one of us to look into the questionnaire that comes in the Facebook. And when the classes are going on, immediately relevant questions will be posed in the classroom by reading the question and also by mentioning the name of the student who has raised the question, so that that student also gets the answer. So absolutely interaction possibilities are there, whether direct participation in the Zoom or it is through streaming, Facebook streaming. And if you miss out anything, note down, and you can raise the questions in the Telegram group. There also you can discuss, you can keep that alive between the sessions. So right now we plan to start from the next week onwards, probably, even if Professor Satyanarayana is not coming, one of the lecturers from here will take up the first chapter of the classical mechanics, introduction of the classical mechanics. And friends, one more point I want to tell before my colleagues speak. So next, I request Dr. Joseph Prabhakar be ready, and then Shruti Kanta to be ready to say a few words to the students relevant to the topic. So my point is that the textbooks, whatever you are being prescribed, you keep them away. Classical mechanics, you know, Goldstein is the Bible of that topic. But even that, when I studied in my MSc, when I was shown that book, we didn't have that much money, and those days there was no computer, internet. I did my PhD, MSc in 1982, a era which is pre-digital era. So I have to buy the book, and that book will be available only in few people's hands. The library also, 1 or 2 books will be there. So when you took and opened the book, every page was totally challenging for us. And I personally felt the basic things which starts in the very first lesson itself, I do not know. The configuration space, the vectors and tensors was not well understood by me. So it was what you can say, kind of a frustration, or rather hesitation even to touch the book. So there was a situation, because there are some people who will simply go through it anyway, manage somehow, remember certain things and write something and pass. But that was not the habit for me. Even one page I cannot turn unless I understand that page. But then some other books were there in the library. Most of the books were untouched by my friends at that time, because they always run behind the Gupta and Sharma. I think so those books are there now also. Some books like that. Goldstein, some students will take to feel proud that I have the Goldstein book. But how much they understood, that time I know it was very less. But there were many other books helping to understand classical mechanics. Nobody touched them because they are not prescribed, and many questions do not come from there. So as a hobby, I used to take some of them and I read. So they gave some idea. At that time, at that level of my understanding, I could get some understanding from different other books. So now huge sources are there. I used to feel jealous of you now, where you have got so many resources. But a systematic planning to study them is required. Then you will be able to understand. But even then, the science cannot be understood just by reading personally whole night also. You need interactions, a lively atmosphere to share the ignorance. The more and more ignorances you share, the more and more you get enlightened. So that is what is the experience so far. So you have resources with you. So keep preparing the moment we say that this is the topic that is going to be the next week, and then come with the basic, fundamental, silly, odd type of questions, whatever you want, you ask. No problem at all. So that is the approach that we follow here. And above all, you should understand the physics, understand the mathematics, and develop keen interest in physics, not just for the sake of clearing exam. You may or you may not clear exam, but that is not the point. The exam alone is not the only opportunity for you. You will get many other opportunities apart from the exams. Like Shasikant, he is here with our department. We conduct our own recruitment examinations and interviews. You don't go by the marks at all. 60% is the level of marks. Most of the people who have joined in our department, they are not the gold medalists in the universities. Actually, they fail in many times in the interviews, because the examination pattern in the universities are different. and our selection procedure is different. We try to see whether the person is thinking and thinking scientifically, whether he admits that this is a place where I have not understood. So this type of interactive interviews are there that goes for about 1.5 hours to 2 hours, and it is conducted for a month duration, and many departments they do it, and they will be very happy to select the people who are open-minded, who have understood really, and they are able to answer in the interviews. So that type of things are there. Many opportunities will be there for you. Otherwise, also these sessions will be very enjoyable classrooms. I believe you will feel after a few classes, you will feel that this is a really resourceful, and many of your friends may come and join. But remember, teaching is 50%, learning is also 50%. The kind of teachers you expect that they should have this type of quality to make us to understand. You expect a high quality teacher. The teacher also expects a high quality student. So, but whatever may be your quality now, you can easily tune yourself, easily come up to that quality. So let us improve our understanding of physics. With this introduction, I now request Dr. Joseph Prabhakar to share his experience and tell what we will be doing in the future. After that, Shritikanta Prasad, he will also explain. He will be one of your teachers, and he is a very young person. He is just the difference between you and him. If you see him through video, he will show himself after some time, and then you will feel that he is one of you. You can chat with him, and don't worry about the language. It will be essentially in English, but if you feel you want to express in your language, preferably in Hindi, so we have him also to get the question and answer in English. And language skill is also important to understand the subject. So thank you very much. Welcome once again, all of you. Be with us and let us start the journey of learning physics. And thank you very much. Now over to Dr. Joseph Prabhakar.
Thank you, Venkatesan sir. Very good evening to all of you present in the Zoom meet. So myself, Joseph Prabhakar, as I am working as an assistant professor in Loyola College, Chennai. Most of you heard about this college. But now, of course, I want to talk to you not as an assistant professor or not as a teacher. You can treat me as your senior student. So I'm also thinking like that. So whenever I sit with Professor Satyanarayana class, I always treat as myself as a first year BSc or maybe a +2 student. First of all, I really thank and appreciate the effort, the great effort taken by Breakthrough Science Society, Tamil Nadu chapter. Of course, all of you heard about this Breakthrough Science Society organization. It is a India-wide science popularization, scientific temper cultivating organization. So it is one of the effort started by the BSS. Anyway, so this course basically, as you might have heard about that, it is basically a course on classical mechanics. I myself completed my MSc degree around 2008. Then I was looking at, even I had no satisfaction when I completed my MSc that I learned physics. So I was looking at where I can learn physics. I tried to read, as Professor Dr. Venkatesan pointed out, I took a Goldstein book. I tried to read, I tried to take some few pages, but I could not understand anything. Then somewhere I heard that there is a person called S.V.M. Satyanarayana, who was teaching in Madras University as a kind of in Sundays. Then I went there, I attended the Satyanarayana class. He teaches all core theories like classical mechanics, quantum mechanics, statistical mechanics, mathematical physics, all these things. So I attended his lectures where I learned real physics. Remember, it is not, I did not go to his class for clearing the exam. My intention is really, I wanted to learn the physics. I wanted to appreciate the physics. I wanted to understand the physics. So that is my prime motive. Then I went there. Initially, I find very difficult because I had no mathematics background. I was very weak in mathematics. In fact, as Venkatesan pointed out, I had language problem also. I studied Tamil medium school till my undergraduate. I had very shy. I had a kind of, I could not able to express what I was thinking. I could not even read properly English because most of the science textbooks are in English. So initially, when I was attending this class, I felt so bad. I could not understand. Then simply I went away. Then, but I did not lose hope. I was keep on improving my basics, my mathematics skill, my basic. I took a school level physics books I was reading, and I developed my basic skill. Then I went there again. Now I was a little better. Then I tried to. I could understand something when he was teaching. Then slowly this process went on because my prime motive is I want to learn and I want to learn and understand and enjoy the physics. So then finally what happened, at one day I qualified all the exam. Remember, as Venkatesan sir pointed out, when you really started to enjoy the physics, automatically the qualifying exam will be a consequence. You don't need to think of separately preparing the exam or try. When you start to enjoy the physics, automatically the exam clearing the exam or performing the interview well, all these things will follow you. So just for, it's not my self thing, but I want to mention that because of this continuous attending of Satyanarayana class, I got 150th rank in GATE, 55th rank in JEST, 91st rank in NET. So almost all the exams I qualified because of the intensive learning of physics. And I want to tell you, I did not take any coaching. I did not go to any coaching institutes. Even I did not follow any coaching like you have. I think probably you heard about that. There is a Arihant material for physical sciences. Those who want to take coaching, there is a Arihant material. I did not take any coaching material. I simply followed standard textbooks, and whenever he teach, I try to think. I try to process myself. Okay, why this particular concept? Why Newton introduced this particular quantity? Why Lagrangian is introduced like that? So I was trying to ask myself a lot of questions. In the process, I solved a lot of standard textbook problem from Goldstein or some other textbooks. So that automatically enabled me to qualify these exams. So just please, you take, this is not my advice. This is a kind of my experience as a senior student from you. Don't think that I am kind of authoritatively advising. It's not advice. I am sharing my experience. You please, you try to enjoy the subject. Don't think of, okay, I want only coaching. I want only this particular formula. I want only this particular formula. If I know this formula, I can able. No, it will not work because after 2011, I have been also involving the coaching of the CSER NET exam. I have seen many students that most of them, when they try to think of like I'm going to prepare, I'm going to take a coaching, they will not clear very easily. Once you started to enjoy the subject, automatically this the talent, the problem solving skill automatically fall into your mind. So this is the humble suggestions, humble experience that I am sharing. And of course, this course is basically, I already told you, it's a classical mechanics, and Professor Satyanarayana will start from the basics. Don't worry about your mathematics. If you feel that you are very weak in mathematics, don't worry. Please make it clear that I myself, I learned differentiation, integration only after my MSc, right? So it is not, you people are really more lucky, more fortunate because I heard about CSER only after my MSc or MPhil. But you people are, now we have a lot of, as Dr. Venkatesan pointed out, we have a lot of resources. In fact, those days, 2008, 2009, we will not be able to get any previous year question paper. Only 1 or 2 question paper available. We will not be able to get any solutions. We have to simply search around. But nowadays, you have all kind of materials available. Even old question paper, last 10 years question paper, last 10 years solutions, everything is there. Don't worry about that. Don't feel about you are weak in mathematics or you are weak in basics. No need of that. Definitely, he will teach from very basics. And if you feel very shy to ask, don't worry, you can put it in the chat box and we will be there to help you. You treat us like your senior student. Definitely, as another colleague, Siddhikanta Prasad, he's a very good person. He also already is doing a lot of other courses. He can also help you. It's a how you are able to ready to face challenge. As Dr. Venkatesan pointed out, if you really want to clear, if you want to really understand the subject, only thing is you have to be very consistent your learning process. You have to be very consistent. That's why I cleared, because almost every Sunday, 2009 to 2011 or 12, continuously all the Sundays from morning 10 to evening 5, I attended Satyanarayana Sir's lecture. I never miss any even single Sunday, right? So like that, you maintain the consistency. If you don't understand anything, don't worry. You please ask. Don't think that, okay, it's a silly question or it is a stupid question, or don't worry. Even if you don't understand anything, you please mention, you please put in the chat box, or you can tell openly, because we were also same ignorant state. Now, because of the legacy of Satyanarayana, we are able to, Siddhikanta is in Kudangulam, he is a scientist in the Kudangulam power station. I am a lecturer in Loyola College, like various people, various places working. So it's because of, we accept that we are ignorant. We accepted that we don't know anything. And we were asking a lot of basic questions. In that the way we developed our understanding. This is my a kind of experience that I would like to mention. As the course will be for the first one or two lectures, for few classes, he will do the basics things. He will ask a lot of basic questions. Definitely, you can show that what you need or what you are expecting from him. Then after 2 or 3 classes, he will start a rigorous classical mechanics from Goldstein or some other standard textbook. So always you be very hopeful and be consistent. That is a very much in physics. If you want to achieve, you don't need to be a genius. You don't need to be very intelligent. You have to be a very average hard work person. If you are a very average hard work person, that itself will take you greater height. So thank you for the opportunity given by BSS, and I hand over to my colleague Shithik Prasad.
Okay. I thank you, Dr. Joseph Prabhakar. He was the student of, he just like you, he was a student earlier of Professor Satyanarayana, and now Shashikanta, he is there, and you can unmute your video and audio, and then
Yes,
you can say a few words about the classes, what you are going to do. And the students, if any one of you is able to watch in Facebook, please write your comments so that we have Mrs. Bhagirathi to read some comments and put it here. Right now, this is only a trial, so that in future, when the classrooms are actually going on, you should be able to write something in the Facebook, and we should be able to see and read it out. It's just a rehearsal, although these are all known for the people who are familiar with all these techniques, but just to ensure and also to build up these confidence that you are all able to write some comments. So you can write some comments, ask some questions also now. So how frequency, what will be the frequency of the classes, anything you would like to ask, and what is your choice? How frequently you would like to attend this class? Once in a month, once in a week, twice in a week, or once in 2 weeks, or what type of topics are required? So you just share your feelings in the Facebook comment as well as in the chat in the Zoom. So we will pick up, and that will help us to discuss. So right now you can start putting that. And now I welcome Siddhikanta Prasad. Please take up your time now.
good evening, sir. Good evening, Venkatesh sir. Good evening, Joseph sir. So, myself, Siddhikanta Prasad Misra. First of all, I all welcome you on behalf of BSS Tamil Nadu to this course, Classical Mechanics by Dr. SPM Satyanarayana. So, I am working in Kudangulam Power Station as a reactor physicist. So myself, I am a student of Satyanarayana. I did my masters from Pondicherry University from 2015
Maybe little
to
louder, I think.
yes,
Little
sir.
louder.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Maybe this earphone. Okay, so I studied in Pondicherry University. I did my master degree from Pondicherry University, and in my MSc, I attended one course by Satyanarayana sir, statistical mechanics. So I want to share one experience. In the first class, when Satya sir entered the class, so in the top of the board, he wrote, the purpose of the class is to celebrate physics. So I think this is the right spirit to learn the subject. So what Joseph sir, Venkatesh sir told, the purpose of learning physics is not about clearing the CSIR, NET, GATE, JAM, GIST. If you are learning physics, all these things must be a byproduct of your learning, but the purpose should not be focused around this. So the idea is we should celebrate this subject and learn, and clearing the CSIR, NET and GATE, you in fact will not realize. If you are learning, then at some point it will be clear automatically. You need not to put some special effort. Okay, so the objective should be to enjoy the subject. And in this course, Satyanarayana sir, anyway, I don't want to say much about him. You will learn when you attend next classes. You can ask any questions. Satya sir used to say, learning physics is not about answering questions. It is about questioning answers. So here you will get ample amount of freedom to ask any questions, and nobody will going to make fun of you based upon your questions. All questions will be taken with same seriousness. So sir can ask any question to sir, and sir will feel more happy when you ask more and more questions. So, and in to one more thing, what I want to say is, the one important aspect of learning physics is problem solving. So in this course, sir will be solving many problems in the course, and what I will do after the course is advanced, then I will compile some questions from CSIR, NET and GATE, previous year questions, and make a problem sheet and upload it in the group, so that you can try and you see. And those questions, if some difficulty is there, we can also discuss in the future classes. Okay, so for textbook and all, sir will suggest still, as Venkatesh sir told, this Goldstein is one nice textbook. Although it is difficult, I myself found it difficult when I read it in BSc, but you should not leave that. That is, whatever 3-4 textbooks I know, among that I feel Goldstein is best. Even though it is difficult to read, but you should not get frustrated with it, and you should not leave learning it. This is the best book, I will say, one of the standard textbook. Okay, this is Goldstein. And for many problems, there is a book by David Morin, Classical Mechanics by David Morin. That book you can see. Whatever other references, sir will mention in the future class. Okay, so one more request from me to all, that you please attend this class with sincerity, because suppose you may think, okay, the classes are getting recorded in Facebook, I can watch it later. But as a student, I know once you miss the class, it will be missed. You will not able to attend it in future. So sincerity and regularity, these are the most two important aspect of this learning. So if you are doing these two things, as Joseph sir mentioned rightfully, so this in fact, when I see myself, I am a very average student, but what I believe in my hard work only. So you take the course seriously and do hard work, and your hard work will never go unrewarded. This I assure you. And in this course, one more thing I will say, you will find many new things which you will not get from the textbook reading. So in fact, if you are attending this course and you are thinking, and I don't think you need any textbook of classical mechanics after that. And Satya sir classes are so compiled and so coherent that you don't feel any need of any other textbook. I have attended his statistical mechanics course, quantum mechanics course, classical mechanics course. I don't think any textbook describes those points what sir explains in the class, those points. So I request you all, please attend this class with sincerity, because this online courses made it possible. I am in Kudankulam, Kanyakumari. You are some other part of India. Because of this online courses, we can able to listen to sir. Otherwise, I don't think it is possible. So take this an opportunity. Take this as an opportunity to learn physics. I hope you will enjoy. Okay, with this brief description, I will stop. If you have any doubt, please ask about the course, about the classes. Please ask.
Thank you, Shritikanta. Now it is the time for the students to raise some questions. I would give some tips. Suppose you are already maybe attending your regular classes, online or offline, or you would have studied classical mechanics. What are the difficulties you faced? You can just share now for another next 10 minutes. And we would like to feel what are the difficulties you face. Number one. Number two, I will have to inform those who are in the Facebook. I mean, this Zoom has a capacity to bring only 100 people online, because our subscription was only for that. So we have not paid. For every 50 and 100, we have to pay a huge amount. So only up to 100 we are able to, that is our limitation. But the rest of you will be able to see in the Facebook. So this I have to reiterate. Some of you would be trying to come in Zoom, but don't feel that we are not getting we are not let in Zoom. Therefore, it is a disappointment. No, it will not be a disappointment. We understand. So you can be in Facebook. So more than 100 we are not able to see. So today there was a rush and we had a technical problem. Quick, within a second, many more than 100 were coming, and we could not arrange this thing. So we had to delay it for about 10 to 15 minutes. So forget it. Now a few questions have come on the chat. So how frequently this class will be, whether we can upload in YouTube. Yes, in future we are planning to start a YouTube channel. Yovarajan will inform at the end, and till then it will be available in the Facebook and offline also. Anytime you can click and view. If you have missed the class, you can attend. Presently, we are planning to have every Saturday, every week. That is our plan. So we will continue like that. Probably in due course of time, we will see according to your, some of you want 2 classes on the weekend. So Mr. Vignesh is asking that. Okay, thank you. So we will try. We will try. The main point is you should also have some time for your regular classes, your own assignments, projects, so many things are there. So that is what we felt. And again, ours is a kind of a refresher course, but still it takes some time. We will see in due course of time how frequently we can increase the frequency or not. It depends upon the time availability of the lecturers also. Number one. Number two, as I said in the beginning, now you can unmute yourself and ask share your experience when you studied classical mechanics. Other subjects we will deal later, but right now classical mechanics. So now you can unmute those who are in the Zoom to share your experience when you studied quantum mechanics. What are the difficulties you faced? So you just start one or two. We would like to listen from you.
Sir, just a minute. There's a comment in Facebook by Kishore Jyot GP. He's asking, what book can I use as reference? Can you suggest a book for basics in classical mechanics?
Yeah. Okay. Nice. So I think Shritikanta, we can just now he was discussing that he suggested a book also. But no, my point is, Joseph, can you suggest?
Yes.
So, see, of course, the standard textbook is Goldstein. But suppose if you are very reluctant to take that Goldstein, there is a book by Classical Dynamics of Particles and System by Marian and Thornton.
Yeah.
Marian, so Classical Dynamics Particles and System by Marian and Thornton. So that is a kind of it's not very difficult language like Goldstein, but it's really, if you want to really as a beginner, you can use that book. It's really very good standard textbook.
Yeah, they also have a classical
as,
mechanics book. They also have a classical mechanics
No,
book.
it is a,
They have a few
that is a
books
David Marin.
written. Yeah. Oh, okay. So, but
Sir,
okay. So that is what is
Yeah,
the
I
other
think
question?
one minute, Professor. Question is, what book may be used for studying fundamentals of classical mechanics?
That's what he said. That's what he said.
So
Is it?
fundamental mechanics
Yeah.
is there in the class by David and Marian and Tata. That is, in fact, deal with the from basic Newtonian mechanics and even a lot of mathematical subject like what is meant by vector, what is vector calculus, what is differentiation, what is integration, what is a curl and divergence. All these things, the first chapter, then first two chapters are made based in Newtonian mechanics and coordinate system. What are the different coordinate system? All these things will be developed in that book.
Okay, thank you. And Siddhikanta, you want to say some reference book?
Yes, sir. Sir, I recently studied one book some 1 year back. It is undergraduate book, but the book is very nice. That book is a student guide to Lagrangian and Hamiltonian by Patrick Hamill. That
Okay.
book is very nice, and the student guide to it has many books like in a diverse topic like vectors and tensors, and student guide to Maxwell equation by Daniel Flesch. So this Lagrange and Hamilton by Patrick Hamill. It is a very small, around 150 pages undergraduate book, but it is written. There is no rigorous mathematics, and the concepts are well described. So if somebody wants to study this analytic mechanics, namely Lagrange and Hamiltonian, he can refer that book. And it is not unlike Goldstein. It is very basic and very written very nicely. Yes,
thank you. You can also write that in the chat so that people can read and note down the author name.
Like Joseph sir also told, like Joseph sir also knows this classical mechanics theoretical minimum by Leonard Susskind. That is also, it is like a novel. One can have a, like before sleeping, one can read that book.
Nice. Can you write them in the chat so
Sure,
that others can note down? You can just type them in the chat. Okay, thank you. Professor Yogarajan, there is a comment that in Facebook, people are not able to write their comments. The host has not given permission.
But I have not denied permission for anyone.
Something, there is some problem.
Then we will check it. But as far as
okay, so
I am
let
able
us
to see two
what is
comments.
the
I am
issue.
able to see two comments.
Okay.
But remaining thing, I have to check it up.
Okay, so you just look into it that people are not able to comment. Okay, then I would like students to talk, tell their problems when they study classical, just share freely. So some of you can share your experience.
Please.
And then with that, we will try to understand and close this session now. And we'll go for the next week's session.
Yes, in any language they can speak.
Yeah,
yes,
no
others
problem.
to translate.
Yes. Other than mathematics.
Yes.
Okay.
So please share your difficulty or what is your feeling on classical mechanics, what is your feeling on physics. So whatever you feel, whatever you think about this, please share.
Sir?
Yeah.
Yes,
am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible.
Sir, literally, I enjoyed this introductory class itself. I'm very thankful to you all, sir. I'm doing my first year MSc in Bharatiyar University, Coimbatore.
Okay.
I studied my classical mechanics in my first semester itself, but I haven't gained that much knowledge. It was not up to the mark. I was not able to solve many problems. Like you all suggested, I too purchased that Goldstein book, and I was not able to solve the problems in that Goldstein book. I'm very disappointed about disappointed about that, and I wanted to follow in this second semester through these online courses. And also one more platform which I found very helpful is NPTEL, sir. I would also recommend that. I found it very useful for other chapters, and I'm going to follow this classical mechanics in all these platforms, and I believe that I can master this classical mechanics in my second semester with the help of these online courses and all your efforts, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
When you say online courses, was it interactive?
Yes, sir. I personally feel that I've done my solid state physics course in NPTEL. That was interactive also, sir. That was interactive. I felt very useful.
No. The point is whether you were able to ask a question to the professor.
No, sir. No, sir.
Why?
Sir, actually, we will post our questions in the forum, and we will get some answers later.
Okay, that is also interaction.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But that was interactive. I felt very interesting. That was very interesting, and I scored well too. So I chose NPTEL as the second choice for learning classical mechanics as well in this semester.
Okay, thank you. So, any other
Thank you,
student?
Hello,
Yes,
Am I
your
audible?
name, please.
Sir. My name is Jeenu Jaggi.
Yeah.
As Vignesh has already mentioned, for me, I also use NPTEL class for my first semester MSc
Yes.
in order to clear classical mechanics. So my problem is that I have already purchased Goldstein book, but I can't able to understand anything. And now I am following JC Upadhyaya classical mechanics books. Even though my reference text is Goldstein, I was unable to answer or decipher anything from that.
Okay. Okay, fine.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody
Very
else?
good.
Sir,
Yes.
Joseph, sir.
Yes, Siddhikanta.
Sir, can you say something about this Goldstein fear? Because
Pardon?
Goldstein fear.
Goldstein's
see.
book.
Fear over Goldstein.
Yes, that is partly the illusionary fear created by the so many generation. When I as a beginner, I felt I also had the same feeling. But now, if I take a Goldstein, I understand everything except a few problems. I understand really able, and even I can able to solve problems. The only thing is, please take my word that you just consistently you solve a lot of problems from, like as you mentioned, either the Lagrange Hamiltonian or my book Classical Dynamics. Then slowly you pick up the language which Goldstein talks. Then another 6 months, after 6 months, definitely you can enjoy Goldstein. So don't, please take my word that after this classical mechanics course, all of you, those who are really following sincerely and regularly this course, you can definitely take a Goldstein very easily. Take my word.
Yes. Thanks for the confidence.
Like
One
sir,
point.
we should not take Goldstein as a textbook which we have to complete within 6 months. It is not like that. We should not think that.
Yeah. That is what the beginning itself. We want to be very clear that this is not to prepare you for an exam for the next October or something like that. Okay, but it will help you the long run till you are in the career till the end. You will be able to remember the sessions and you will be clear. You will be clarified. The point is that when you are clear on certain things, later on you will be able to understand by yourself. There are a lot of books referred, and the chat also people are putting different authors' books and all. The point is, there are n number of books, but we cannot interact with the authors. The authors do not know in India in 2021, students are like this. So our students' nature, only we understand. We know the way how we have come up in the schools and in the undergraduate courses, the way how we pass, we are different. So we understand our problems. The point is our capabilities, our intelligence has never been patterned in the past education system. That is the main thing. We are no less compared to any other students in any other world, but we have been trained in a different way. So we will have to undo that and then try to do a right thing. So that takes some time. So yes, please, anybody else?
റേഞ്ച് റോൾ ആയിട്ട് ഓരോരുത്തർ ചാടി പുറത്തേക്ക് ഇറങ്ങില്ലേ?
So that's a Venkateswaran sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to make one more comment regarding people who are putting some chart in the chat box that people are saying that J.C. Upadhyaya is they are referring. Yes, of course, it's a good book. I have no bad opinion about that. But please, I have one reservation on the J.C. Upadhyaya Classical Mechanics. In fact, I too also read the book. But what is the problem is, please understand, when we learn some subject, the 80% may be given by the author as, or maybe 60%, remaining 20 to 30% that it has to enable you to work. But the problem with the J.C. Upadhyaya is it explained everything. It takes, it give all the steps, so nothing to work. Like, of course, there are problems mentioned. So what I'm suggesting, you take, of course, there is no harm to follow the J.C. Upadhyaya, but only thing is the work that you are going to do is very, very minimal, because he gave all the steps. But if you go to Goldstein or some other textbook, definitely in between steps, in between derivation, they will give some work so that it will slowly, gradually you develop the understanding skill. So that is a one slight disadvantage of following the Upadhyaya. But otherwise, of course, no issue on following the J.C. Upadhyaya.
Yeah, thank you. So when I studied the beginning in the Goldstein, the very first problem in the classical mechanics where I faced, that which the book did not say very clearly. In the sense they thought the Indian students know that. So we know, for example, in the gravitational force, we have two masses and each attract together, each other. So we have a formula to work out. In that formula is not generalized. What happens if one more mass comes? Have we ever worked out in our BSc? If there is mass M1 and M2, then M3. What happens? So in like that, if it is an electric charge, you have got Q1, then Q2, and if they are positive or negative, you know how the force works, and then how the movement of the charge can be described. So that is easy. If you have 2 points, 2 charges, if you have got one more charge, what will happen? And then if that charge happens to be not in the same plane, if that mass happens to be not in the same plane, then what will happen? So we will have to imagine a system of reference, and then in that system of reference, we will have to position the charges or position the masses. So after positioning, then we try to find out the mutual forces, and then find out the ultimate resultant force on each other. So this type of problem, this way a link will not be there in the beginning, because they understand that we probably may be knowing that if there are many charges, many masses, or because the solar system is like that, we have a sun and we have different planets. So what happens when a system of objects are there distributed? What is the resultant gravitational attraction a particular body has on other objects? Have we ever calculated this? We have not calculated. So to do this type of a generalized calculation, which we can easily simplify for 2 objects, we have not studied that way. We started with 2 objects only, M1, M2, Q1, Q2, this way. But then when the Q3, Q4, M3, M4 comes, what to do? We do not know. So this configuration space, a vector space, is a mathematical description of the space in which we are going to distribute all these and trying to find out the resultant force which has got a direction and magnitude. So a generalization of what we have studied in the +2, +1 or 10, that is what exactly is done at MSc level. There is no difference. The only thing is when you generalize, then we will have to bring a very general picture of the universe where we may encounter all these type of problems. So so the classical mechanics gives us a very general description. General means generally, in the common sense, where I say generally means it is simple. Particularly is very, very difficult. But in the science, it looks, I have come across the special theory of relativity. When you hear the word special theory of relativity, we think that we do not even know the general theory. How can we address special theory? But that is more easier for us to understand than the general theory of relativity. Just like that, the interaction between two masses, two charges is easy to understand. The particular interaction is easy to understand, but the general picture of interaction among many charges is very, very difficult, because we will have to describe them in a mathematical space, this thing, vector space. So if you understand that this is why we are entering into the classical mechanics, where you will find similar formulas what you have studied in +1, +2, then you will know the difficulties. So that is how the two-body problems, three-body and multi-body problems are described in the classical mechanics. So what I am trying to say is, try to relate why at all this much descriptions. What is that they are trying to deal with? What exact physical problem they are trying to deal with, and why they will have to describe in this type of mathematical notations. So you can first list out all those things, clarify those things through whatever sources you get. And if you do not clarify, you come here and ask. So you should do some kind of an exercise like this, try to understand what is the purpose of that book. At the beginning, I felt that what is the need for reading that book? I was never given an understanding why at all I have to read the classical mechanics, either by Goldstein or whoever it is. Why at all that particular subject is required? So the clarity of the purpose, if that is not there, our interest and involvement to study that also will not be there. So these things we will have to expound as we go on in these classes. Any student has got any more questions or comments or inabilities to study whatever they face in their classrooms, textbooks, please share now, but you will have anyway time in future also. Any more comments in the Facebook? I think
Anusha raised the hand, so he or she can speak.
Yes, whoever has raised the hand can unmute and speak.
I am unable to see anyone who has raised hands.
Okay. Okay, then so any more questions are there? Other than how frequently we are going to hold? Okay, those things are not important. I mean, do you suggest that where from we should start? Any suggestions, any comments? The most important thing in learning science, in learning this classical learning, is that we should sit together and learn. And that will be our approach, and you will gradually pick up that. So we have to learn together. It is not that teacher is there, he will teach. So from basics, of course. But basic means where? Which basics? So basics, of course, it will be there. From basics, we will try. But we will guide you if we are not able to explain everything in the basics, which will be taking time, which we are all supposed to learn. But we will guide you to get the basics. Definitely, we know the difficulties of our students. So that is why the books may serve to some extent, but we will have to take up. So it's like the formulations of Lagrangian, the formulations of Hamiltonian, the very purpose of doing that. So those things we will, of course, start from there. We will be starting from there, the very fundamentals, and a few classes will be devoted mainly for that. So that will be this thing. Physical theory to practical imagination. Yes, of course, to some examples will be given. And so mathematical physics will be associated with this. So from here, you will have to also go to that subject and try to understand the different formulations and theorems which are used, applied here. there's no problem. The mathematical physics shall be studied along with certain physical examples. You are right. So we will have to do that. And I think we will discuss, and they are there anyway. Dr. Joseph is there, Mr. Siddhikanta is there. They know, they have the experience also. We will see that good practical examples are provided to understand the mathematical formulations, and then you understand each parameters and variables in the mathematics associated with what quality or character of an object. So that you correlate the real world for which the mathematics is derived. It will not be, it has to be learned in a very live manner.
Sir, a question from Facebook, sir.
Yes. What is the question?
How can by Surajit Gogoi? Yes, sir. By Surajit Gogoi, he is asking, how can I get all the updates? Is it from our Telegram group?
It will be Telegram will be
yes, of course.
active.
From Telegram group, we will communicate.
We will inform the classes, the topics, and I am saying that Telegram group is not just to post only announcements. You can also post your questions and somebody can answer, and that way you can keep it alive. So lecturers will be reading those things, and when they come to the class, they will also try to handle those questions. So keep the Telegram group active. You can post your questions, understandings. If not now, in due course of time, you keep it active. So the Telegram, you have to, the moment the message comes, you will be knowing it. I think I have answered her question. Any more? Any more from the Zoom participants? So right now, Siddhikanta and Dr. Joseph, shall we close?
Yes, sir. Of course, if there are some questions from students, yes, we can close.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Any Jyoti, you want to raise any question?
Somebody asked a question in could I know whether a separate course will be there for mathematical physics?
We will see. Not mathematics separately, maybe mathematical physics.
No, that is also a separate thing. But as we go along, I think Prof. Satyanarayana will deal the necessary mathematics that are required for learning classical mechanics.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Yes. We will see. We will see whether there is a separate requirement. It is given as a separate, subject in your MSc, and that is a very, very, very tedious subject. But most of their applications will be associated with classical and quantum mechanics, electrodynamics. So you will parallelly understand the mathematics also. If necessary, we will see that. Yeah. So Fahima Jabin said that is true. Every topic is important, and it has an associated mathematics also. That is also correct. So any more comments? So we will wind up then.
Sir.
Amruta, yes.
Sir, I'm Amrita from Kerala.
Yeah.
And I'm doing my post-graduation course in a college affiliated with Calicut University.
Yes.
Sir, I know that I'm also struggling with the basic concept of physics. And I don't know from where to start with. I know physics is very much related to our daily life situations, but I can't explain and understand how it happens, and can't explain to anyone who really asked me.
Yeah.
So, sir,
yeah.
where to start with? I don't know really.
Understood. That is, since you do not know, that is the place where you have to start. That is, you take some subjects, then you know that this I do not know. Then in order to know that, what are the things you must have known? But there also you feel that even that I do not know. So make a list yourself. Take one example, not the entire thing. Take one example. So if you are now in MSc, some subjects you may be interested, maybe solid state physics, maybe mathematical physics. Some subjects may be interested, but you will not be able to progress because you are not able to understand.
Yes, sir.
So you note down, because it will have in education, there is always a building up of the concepts and lessons. So from school to pre-university, undergraduate, and then postgraduate. So somewhere in the undergraduate level itself, you might not have understood. Absolutely no problem. So you can go back, try to understand and come. That is one thing. Number two,
Okay,
you may
sir.
need help. Alone, you may not be able to understand. Number two. Number three, even to express my question, sometimes it becomes difficult. I know that this is a place where I'm struggling, but exactly to place the question, I do not know. So that is also a problem. So if you are able to write what is your question, 90% is solved. If you are able to write, okay, this is exactly what I do not know. If you write yourself, then 90% is solved, because just a few efforts will make you enable you to know that. So this type of things you can do. And our professor used to say, he may say next class also, tonight you just take a few, a particular topic, try to understand. If you do not understand, list out what are the things you do not know. And after
Okay,
writing
sir.
down, you sleep. No worry. Tomorrow morning, out of
Okay,
that
sir.
question, 2 things you try to understand. That's enough. No worry. The remaining
Okay,
things, if
sir.
you
Thank you.
you do not understand, you need help, come here and ask the question. So a little by
Okay, sir. Fine.
little, yeah, thank you. So little by little, to all students, you can clearly understand. Don't try to understand the entire book. Goldstein, we are not going to understand. That is not necessary now. That is not the objective also now. When need comes, we will we relearn that, no problem. But right now, we need to understand for the sake of completion of our course in a very good manner, and enable ourselves to face the interviews and exams. To that extent, we should have a thorough understanding. Beyond that, even many lecturers who are teaching classical mechanics, I know that they also struggle. So that doesn't matter. They at that stage, they have to relearn. So you write down the questions, do a small exercise, just read half a page or 1 page, and with that you sleep. And tomorrow, note down those questions and try to find out an answer. A little exercise, a small exercise. So that will give you confidence. Okay, this much I know. Beyond that, I do not know. Doesn't matter. That this much I know is a confidence building first brick. Brick by brick, you can build up your understanding. So that is my suggestion.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
One more
Okay.
thing that I want to also add
Yes.
with
Yes.
Radhikant.
Yes.
So, friends, actually, please understand. So myself, I am working in Chennai. I think the participants are coming from various states. We have no constraint on us, right? If you don't need to hesitate anything, whatever the doubts, please ask. You open your mouth, because we are not going to evaluate you. We are not going to give your mark. We are not going to penalize you. No constraint from our side. It's a kind of boundaryless learning. Whatever you feel very difficult to ask in the classroom, suppose you may think that your classmate think very bad about you. Oh, sorry, this is a very bad, this is a simple, silly question. How can I ask to the teacher? Don't worry about that. It's a place to ask your, remove your ignorance. So don't hesitate. I think now almost 99 students are there in the Zoom. Only 2 or 3 are speaking. Really, it's not good. So you please, all of you, open your mouth and speak. Okay, whatever you feel, whatever. We don't need to. Okay, I should speak polite. Don't. There is no grammar. You just speak yourself. Open your mouth. That is a very, very important. The first step of learning. So that is what I want to make it very clearly.
Yeah.
Sir, one more thing. Sir, it is like we should think this way. See, when you ask a question, you are giving an opportunity to learn to us. Okay. If you ask a question, it is an opportunity for us to learn. Okay. So please don't deprive us from asking questions. So
Yes.
you ask.
So we are the beneficiaries.
Yes, sir.
Jyoti Jaiswar is raising her hand, so she can.
Sir. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I'm from Mumbai, and I want to ask how we are going to do like this. You're going to take lecture, or we have to read all those things which is given in classical mechanics, like textbook, and then we will ask question. Like how we are going to do.
Yes. So here, sir will like a regular the classroom lecture. He will teach. He will write as he will use the OneNote online writing software. And as is like whatever he will write in the paper, other can be able to see easily. And he will give in between exercise and homework and all.
Yes.
Then you have to read and you have to come back with the preparation and Of course, don't think that we are going to test you. We are,
No.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
it's only kind of a self preparation, and you have to come with a preparation, and you get
Okay.
doubts, and you can ask any doubt, whatever you want.
Okay, so classical mechanics is the first part we are going to start with.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
We
Okay.
will continue with quantum mechanics and other
So,
subjects.
so can I follow the JC Upadhyay because I have that only?
Yes.
You can follow any textbook, no problem.
Yeah, yes.
But
Number thing, yeah.
professor has requested all the students to prepare or
Goldstein.
at least see Goldstein. Yes, he
No,
has
that as a reference.
Okay,
as
okay,
reference,
sir. If
yeah.
a PDF is available, I'll arrange.
Some calendar will be given. So in this day, these topics will be discussed. Such calendar will be given by the professor. So
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So if we all read for only one book, that is good for you're saying.
Yeah, yeah. We will stick to Goldstein as a reference book.
Yes.
Okay.
But to understand, you can read any other book, no problem.
Yeah.
And number two, as Dr.
Yeah.
Joseph sir said and Sitikanta, you can test us. You can pose your problem, and it is up. We are bound to solve and show to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
We are
sir.
not- so that is the thing. And the classroom will be a classroom like where on the board professor will write
Okay.
electronic board, and then while writing also he will ask you questions whether you have followed this. Do you
Okay.
have any question about this? What
Okay.
if this is the other way? So all this way there will be interaction. So you have to interact, and you will feel to interact
Yes,
very
sir.
much.
Thank you,
So
sir.
that is the approach will be followed in the classroom.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And that is why even the Facebook, those who are watching Facebook,
Yeah,
please write your comments. Those who are today in the Zoom may not have an opportunity to get the seat in the Zoom next week. But don't
yeah.
worry.
Yeah, sir. We didn't get the seat in this Zoom meeting.
Yeah,
Can
there
you-
are many others who are outside, but we are very much concerned about them also. So we will take care, all of you, in the same manner. So that is
Yes,
our
sir.
promise.
Thank you.
If,
They said that they cannot comment in the Facebook.
yes.
What
And-
happened to
Yeah,
the Facebook?
that problem will
In
be
between,
resolved,
like,
Professor.
sorry.
I am also thinking how to do, but because now I cannot do because it is getting streamed,
Yeah.
so I cannot
Oh.
alter the settings now.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
have to
Those
see.
Facebook viewers, please don't worry. There is some issue. You are not allowed to put your comments. We will sort out, and next time that issue will not come. Number one.
Of course,
Number
they
two.
are
Yes.
Venkatesan sir, they are free to put their comments in the Telegram now.
Exactly.
So that we
That's
can
what
do.
I'm saying. The Telegram is a live 24 hours media, which we can exchange. And the lecturers also will view and pick up the actual problems from there. And the class will start with addressing those problems also. So keep the thing alive so that we all are doing as a collective effort of learning. So we are all learning that together. So keep the Telegram media also active. You can pose your
Yes.
question after the session is over. You can write your comments, but write your questions also, fundamental questions. As I was
Yes.
explaining, what happens instead of 2, 3 bodies are there? What if they are not in the same plane? What will happen if they are in a different plane, distributed in 3-dimensional? So how you understand, and what are the notational representations in the classical mechanics, that book, and how to understand each notation. If you do not understand its meaning, those things you list out and write in the Telegram. Some of you, there are excellent students here, I know, they will be able to answer also. So we will collectively
Yes,
learn.
sir. Yes.
Can we?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
So
thank you,
just-
Jyoti. Can we close now?
Just a minute. I'll just one point. There's a person who put that. Can you talk about Rana Joak classic mechanics? Just see, Mukund.
What I have another meeting. Joseph, please you take care and close in another 5 minutes. Devarajan, may I leave now?
Yeah.
Sure.
You may
Thank
leave,
you.
Professor.
See you all.
Bye. Yeah. So the regarding the Rana and Joak classic mechanics is a very, very good book, no doubt. Of course, if you really feel that you are comfortable with the Rana and Joak, perfectly you can follow it, no issue. Because remember, there are very good. Not only Goldstein is a good, but of course there are, like I said, Marian Tantan and the J.C. Upadhyaya, Arul Das. Yes, no doubt they are good book. If you are comfortable with that book, there is no harm to follow Rana and Joak, because I also read the Rana and Joak textbook. Rana is a professor in TFR and Joak was professor in Mumbai University. It's a really excellent book. You can, of course, only thing is, I think that book also more conceptual oriented. It's like a Goldstein. less exercise problem compared to less example problem compared to the Upadhyaya. Upadhyaya has lot of example problems and exercise problems. So it depends on your level of thing. So there is no harm to follow Ranjot.
So there's a question in FB, sir.
Okay, tell me.
Surya Narayan Mahapatra, sir, by him. So, sir, can we transfer the FB live to YouTube live stream? Many of us do not have Facebook account.
Yogarajan sir, please.
Yeah. For this, I have to answer. Actually, for BSS, we haven't yet have this YouTube account. Monday we are sitting. I have to sit with Dr. Venkatesh and George sir. So there we are going to conclude. So mostly from the next session, if everything goes fine, we will be live on YouTube. But one point we have to keep in mind: either we will be live in YouTube or will be in Facebook. Both the things simultaneously we cannot do. This is the thing. So Monday I will decide, because many students have put same this thing in Telegram also. So we are also planning to switch over to YouTube.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
This is Hari here. I followed Satyanarayana sir's class from electrodynamics also. It's really useful for me, and eagerly waiting for classical mechanics class too. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that point I got Raghav. Mostly we will be switching over to YouTube, right? Professor, if everything is over, shall we conclude?
Yes, Professor.
Shitikanta, shall we?
Sir, yes, sir.
Yeah, and thank you, professors. Thank you, Dr. Shitikanta. What I would like to tell only one point. See, you are in thousands. So 1,000 young students, great students, this way getting connected together is something you are really very, very fortunate. Such opportunity we never had, right? Use this opportunity. If you correctly use this opportunity, it is not that you are going to build yourself. You can build this nation. You can build science in this nation. So such opportunity we are getting, though Corona is hitting us badly. On behalf of BSS, I extend my heartfelt wishes to you, all students. Thank you. With this word, I conclude. Good night, students. Good night, Professor Joseph. Good night, Sitikanta.
Thank you, students. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sitikanta. See you next
Thank you,
class.
sir.
I think the Yogarajan sir.
Yeah.
I think Satyanarayana sir is entering.
One minute. Yeah. He would have tried, I think.
Just that he wants.
Yeah.
Students, please wait.
1 minute, students. Professor is coming.
Hello, Pontingla.
Yes, I have permitted.
Our pair varli no.
இல்ல லாஸ்ட்ல இருக்கும். But I think he is having network issues. We will wait for.
Here, are you able to hear us?
No, he will not be able to hear us because his mic is not coming.
No, first we have to confirm his SBM Satyanarayana sir or somebody else, because we have it.
Only he just now messaged me that he wants to come.
He messaged. Okay, sir.
Oh, okay. We'll wait for a while.
Yes, sir.
ப்ரொஃபசர் ஜோசப், நீங்க ஒரு முறை அவரை வந்து கட் பண்ணிட்டு திருப்பி ஜாயின் பண்ண சொல்லுங்க, சரியா வந்துரும்.
Okay.
Ask him to disconnect and connect again. Not required. Professor Satyanarayana? I think yes.
Hello,
Welcome, Professor. Welcome. Students are waiting for you.
I am sorry I could not join today.
No issue. How is your health, Professor?
Yeah, it's slightly improving. So I hope I will definitely do it next week.
Professor.
So I hope you had a good discussion. I just thought I will say hello to participants, and that is why I joined towards the end.
So there are many professors already.
All are eagerly waiting, sir, for you.
Actually, if it is possible for you to unmute your video, if you are in that form, you please, Professor, so that students can see you.
Yeah, just a minute.
Yeah, now we are able to see. So
yeah,
class is yours.
Yeah. So I am most likely I am joining with my mobile because
no problem.
Hello everybody.
Yes, sir. Perfect. Now clear.
Okay. Thank you. So it's nice. I am able to see a very huge response for this course. So I am glad to see that such an interest in physics. And I think 2,500 people registering in the for the course is kind of an infinity for me. Yeah, so because there are occasions where I taught one full year course for 3 people. Okay, there are only 3 people who attended whole year, but still I taught an entire year. So compared to that, I believe the interest in physics has escalated. So I am glad that I also must congratulate Breakthrough Science Society for taking this initiative and then starting a program like this, which I think will be very beneficial for many people. So I am sure you had good discussion. So we will start. We'll start learning more details from next Saturday. If I have been seeing there's some panic in the Telegram group that some people don't have FB accounts, some people don't have not able to join, things like that. But today it's just a discussion, so don't worry, and ask your friends not to worry. So from next week onwards, we will try to do something more concrete and better, so that we will not have these difficulties. Okay, so I wish you all a good learning, and we can meet from next Saturday.
Thank you so much, Professor. Please take care of your health. That is very important for all of us. Your health is not your of your own.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Professor. Yeah.
So I will leave now, and you please continue.
Okay.
I'm getting almost it's over.
Okay. It is over, Professor.
Okay. So maybe I have just got in right time.
Yes, Professor. Actually, Professor Joseph told me he is entering.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Joseph.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you all.
Bye.
New entry, sir.
Yeah.